Hey guys, welcome back. It's Kevin here. Today I'm going to share some tips about how to set up and sound check at a gig as efficiently as possible. Now all these tips apply to all different gigs, whether it's your own like headlining gig or opening or doing some type of band battle. It all kind of falls into one boat. Now what I try to do is kind of map out the stage and try to visualize where each person's going to go. And of course be sure to tell your bandmates, okay, this person's going to go over here, this person's going to go over there, just so that there's no confusion. Me personally, I like to be on the left side of the drummer. That way the hi-hat's over there, and typically, the hi-hat is like the shortest subdivision, so I can be really locked in with the drummer. Now for the setup, for me personally, I like to kind of set my stuff in a straight line. So I have my amp and stuff behind me, and then I'll have, me and my instrument, and then the pedal board, and then the monitor, and then the mic. Now the next most important thing is you want to establish where you're getting power from. And typically I don't like to plug straight into the wall. I usually plug into a power conditioner or some type of surge protector so that when something strikes it, my stuff won't get damaged. It'll just shut the transistors off, and the power conditioner might get damaged, but I mean, a power conditioner is much cheaper than, a head and a cab and pedals and stuff. So it's definitely worth the investment. And this is very important because some venues don't have the best power. I have a rack. The way it's set up, basically I'll have the power conditioner and then my GK head and then a little drawer for all, strings and string winders and picks and all that stuff in there. I usually like a clean cable management system that I put in place for myself and for other people in the band so that we don't trip over anything. So at most venues, they're going to have a power conditioner at the front of the stage and at the back of the stage. So I plug my pedal board into a surge protector that they already have in the front of the stage, so that power cable is already out of the way. And then I run my instrument cable from the output of my pedal board all the way back to the input of my amp. And I use a wireless system, so the cable from my instrument to the input of my pedal board simply doesn't exist. But if you are using a cable, just be sure to keep aware of your surroundings so you don't accidentally trip on it or someone else doesn't trip on it. And I just like a nice clean setup. Now I'm sure most of you have gone through a sound check. It's one of the most important things of a show. So the one critical thing that I learned from gigging over the years is that you want to make sure that your tone and your volume sound good with the band. Now initially you want to make sure, of course, that a signal's coming out. That way if you have a problem with your pedal board or your amp, you can get that fixed immediately. But when it comes to setting up EQ or distortion tones or like different effects of that nature, you want to make sure you try it out with the band during sound check. And another very, very imperative thing is you need to make sure to take all the time you need to make sure your monitors are straight. Make sure that you can hear everyone, that it sounds good to you, because no one else is going to hear your mix. And be sure to sound check songs. I like to do at least 3, all varying in different styles, speeds, and tempos. And this is more for the sound engineer because you want that person to get an idea of where your threshold is. And before you leave the stage from sound check, you want to make sure that you're 100% confident in what you're hearing on stage. Ultimately, no one else on that stage or in that venue is hearing what you're hearing. So if it doesn't sound good to you, you need to tell that sound engineer what you need that person to put in your monitors. And this has happened to me plenty of times. I would get in my head, I'm taking too long for sound check, and then I go play the show and I can't hear anything. And the show wasn't bad or anything. It was still a good performance, but still it could have been a whole lot better if I was able to hear what I was singing, what I was playing, stuff like that. And definitely there are some situations where you just won't get a nice thorough sound check. And band battles are notorious for not giving bands enough time to do a proper sound check. So in that instance, I would still fight for your mix. #fight for your mix. Just make sure everything's straight, make sure you're comfortable to ensure the success of the show. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope those tips were helpful. Be sure to leave a comment for any questions or concerns you have, or go check out my Instagram, Facebook, and message me there. And I'll see you guys in the next one.